Welcome, dear students, to research class. This is our second lesson, and it's all about nature of variables. Have you heard about variables? Are you familiar with that? Can you give me an example of a variable? You can type it there in the class comment down below, and then I'll be able to recognize that. We'll give you a reply later on. Now, let's define it first. But before anything else, these are the learning objectives. Define a variable, introduce the characteristics of a variable, introduce the types of variables, and differentiate dependent and independent variable. What is a variable, class? It is an object, event, idea, feeling, time, period, or any other type of category which can be measured. Can you give me an example? Okay, let me give you an example. Okay, it could be your attitude. What else? A time period, your age, and then your ability, excellence. It could be a tangible or an abstract object. Okay, these are the types of variables. We have two types. We have discrete. This cannot be counted. Whereas continuous, this can be counted by numbers. Okay, I have a separate video on these types of variables. I'll be giving you the link down below so that you can also watch that. But as an overview, I can tell you the meaning for each, so you can have an overview on that. When we say nominal, these are variables that can be categorized, but it cannot be rank ordered. For example, gender, profession, race, religion. Okay, how about ordinal? This can be rank ordered. For example, social class, etc. In a hierarchy. Interval. There is an equal intervals or differences of people's views or attitude. For example, the Likert scale, which will help you see the interval between the attitude, the views of people towards a certain point of view. How about ratio? These are variables where distances between the categories are identical, and there is an absolute zero, and it has meaning. For example, scores, your score on an achievement test, diba, there is a value on zero. Pag zero ang nakuha mo sa exam, may ibig sabihin yon. There is an importance. Zero has its importance. Pero pag sa interval, hindi mahalagang zero. Interval lang siya. Okay? I'm sorry. So, I'll give you the quiz on this. What is independent and dependent variables? I hope you can differentiate it. You can also search from the internet, but of course this is a class. I'm going to discuss this for you. Independent and dependent variable. For independent variable, the cause variable or the responsible for the conditions that act on something else to bring about changes. So this is the cause. Whereas the dependent variable, This is what we call outcome variable, and it is a result or effect of the changes brought about by another variable. For example, in a certain study, a group of students was subjected to aromatherapy using essential oils, while reading and another group with normal conditions. Then after a month, both groups took a reading comprehension test. In this case, the reading comprehension test score is the dependent variable. Okay, why? Because this will be the outcome. Anong kakalabasan sa comprehension test score nila? And exposure to aromatherapy is the independent variable. This is because, take a look on this, the test score is dependent on whether or not the student was exposed to aromatherapy. The independent variable, exposure to aroma therapy, is independent variable because it is something that brought about the change. So you are manipulating your independent variable and try to examine whether it could bring about any changes to your dependent variable.